Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And if you are not a fan of J.K. Rowling, I have some very, very bad news for you. She is still not canceled.
No.
The Harry Potter reboot series is supposed to be coming out in 2026 on HBO Max, provided, like Geeky and I were talking before we started recording, provided they're still in business by then.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. But yeah, it's going to happen for sure. She's still going to make money. She's not canceled. They're building more Wizarding World at Universal theme parks right now. They have a whole nother section in Epic Universe. And, she sold a whole bunch of, Hogwarts Legacy. She got paid for that. She got paid for the play, which is on Broadway. She gets paid every day when people buy butterbeer.
Yep.
She's definitely not canceled.
No.
But Twitter seems to think that it's got the power to stop Harry Potter.
Yeah, it would have done so by now if it could have.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have.
No, they don't want to stop Harry Potter. They just want to get rid of J.K. Rowling. They want to remove her from her creation.
Yeah, that was a whole conversation. People were like, well, if I get the Harry Potter books and I cross her name off the cover, can I still enjoy Harry Potter? If I get a used copy of Hogwarts Legacy, can I still play the game? I mean, it's like, God, seriously, it's like either you accept Harry Potter and the author that created it, or you don't.
Right.
It's up to you. Nobody's forcing you to buy anything. Nobody's forcing you to support anything. But you can't detangle J.K. Rowling from Harry Potter. They were angry that Warner Brothers is letting her be an executive producer on the series based on the books that she wrote. How very dare she? Who does she think she is?
Right.
But here we go. This is definitely happening. Not canceled, especially after Hogwarts Legacy, which was a massive boycott, anti-boycott. So congratulations, gaming journos, on that one. Let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So yeah, Harry Potter is supposed to be coming out in 2026. What we know about the series so far. I'm going to say Harry Potter, black lesbian in a wheelchair. No,
I don't think that's going to happen. No.
Hermione, I can almost guarantee you, will not be white.
Most likely.
Prepare yourself, because people are like, I can't wait for those bigots to get theirs when the show comes out, and Hermione's probably going to be black. It's like, yeah, well, yeah. We already assumed that was going to happen, right? Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav announced during the company's fourth quarter earnings, which we're going to talk about, did not go well. Says highly anticipated Harry Potter series will likely debut in 2026.
Yeah, if Max is still around.
If Max is still around.
If they film it, they can always ship it off, sell it off to somebody else,
Netflix or something.
But yeah, it's not doing too hot. So
they got the key facts here. I like how they bullet point articles, because they realize people don't want to read through all the crap. They said in 2021 there were reports that this was going to happen. It's going to be a first ever TV adaptation of Harry Potter, and it's going to cover the same story that was adapted in the movies, but they're probably going to add more to it because they cut a lot out of the books, especially the later books.
Yeah, since they're to make it into the series, they're going to have a lot more time to work stuff in.
Yeah, they said those involved in the project have teased a potentially more faithful adaptation of the books. I'm sure, because again, once we got to where they really start cutting, I think 3 cut some stuff out, but from 4 on.
Yeah, but that's when the books got really thick too. The books got a lot thicker.
They did.
They went, yeah.
You can see when they're sitting on the shelf, it's okay, the first 2 books are pretty thin, and third one's a little bit bigger, then 4's big, and then 5 is freaking gargantuan.
So it's like when Harry Potter lived under the stairs and he wasn't fed, and then he kept getting, fed.
He got really fat.
And then it just switches to Dudley, and
Yeah, it becomes Dudley. Well, maybe they'll actually do more with Dudley, because they cut a bunch of Dudley out.
They did. They cut a bunch of the Dudley stuff out from the last book. Yeah.
He wasn't even in the last movie, I don't think. Well, no, I heard the story. I mean, I'm not up on my Harry Potter lore, I'm sure, as much as people who are watching this video, but I had heard that because the actor who played Dudley lost so much weight, he looked ridiculous in a fat suit, and they couldn't have hot Dudley. So that's what happened. And apparently there was a whole thing around hot Neville too, but that was that kid lost weight, and then he was doing pinups or something in gay porn magazines or something.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Because I remember J.K. Rowling.
Last part.
Yeah, because J.K. Rowling was like calling him out, like, "Oh my God," his name Matthew. Was like, "Matthew, put some damn clothes on."
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think it was like. Okay.
I don't know. He was in something and he didn't have any.
What
clothes.
was that your go-to anyway?
I don't know. He's putting the long and long bottom. I don't know. Anyway, in January, Warner Brothers television head Channing Dungey told Variety casting is not yet underway. They're in conversations with a number of different writers to figure out who's going to be the person to lead the franchise.
Okay, so they're doing like what Disney's trying to do now, or just find a showrunner.
Yeah.
Instead of having like, we're going to have 30 writers and a bunch, it's easier to find a showrunner and let them have a team. It's cheaper too.
Yep. What about J.K. Rowling? I can't believe that they have to address this. Warner Brothers Discovery has not shied away from highlighting Rowling's involvement in the series, despite the author's controversial past statements on gender and transgender rights that critics have called transphobic.
Some people have called transphobic.
Some people have called it transphobic. I personally think she made it very clear. I mean, look, if it were me, I'd probably stop tweeting while you're ahead, but she's J.K. Rowling. She's rich and she's got FU money, so whatever. But she's just like, yeah, there are genders, like their biological gender. That's like an actual thing, you know?
Yes.
Her comments have prompted backlash and calls for boycotts.
Which ended up turning into boycotts.
Which turned into a boycott,
yes. Pointless.
Yeah, it worked so well that Hogwarts Legacy only sold 22 or 23 million copies last year. It was only the best-selling game of the year. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Can you imagine if there wasn't a boycott? How I know, like it would have come and gone, and nobody would care.
I think people, no, would it though? I think people would have bought it anyway because most of the normies didn't know anything about the boycotts.
Most normies, I'm going to be honest, you ask the average person on the street who wrote the Harry Potter books, and they can't tell you.
For real?
I think so. I think if they never read the books, they only watched the movies. Like, who wrote Harry Potter? Oh, that English woman.
Yeah, that could be.
The blonde-haired one. Yeah, that
or is
one.
She, I don't know. Is she blonde or red? I can't tell. I think
yeah, like, I'm saying, like, a lot of people don't know. They know the franchise. They'll be like, oh, Emma Watson wrote Harry Potter. She thinks she did. Yeah, I think, like, her and Daniel Radcliffe, God, they, like, totally threw Rowling under the bus. Like, you owe your career to her. And you don't have to agree with her, but I thought it was ridiculous that they were going out of their way to, throw her under the bus. I was like, damn. Yeah, she's going to be involved in the television project, and they dismissed concerns about the controversy, noting our priority is what's on the screen. Mm-hmm. Good. Can we get back to that, please? Like, unless someone is actually doing something illegal, unless someone is actually, calling for violence against people, like literally calling for violence against people, or doing some, punching kids in the face or something, like, I don't see why you have to cancel somebody for maybe having a different political opinion than you. But, let's go out to Twitter and see what's going on. So it's been announced, and we got wizarding news here. Whoever did this understood how bad J.K. Rowling would get going forward. They put paint all over her Walk of Fame.
That's in Scotland.
In Scotland? Is this Scotland? Yeah, Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling famously resides. Her handprints are cast in stone in Scotland, and yeah, they put a flag there. They went to her house too, I guess. Here we got people digging up receipts. Here's J.K. Rowling openly donating $70,000 to a legal crowdfunder for 4 Women Scotland. And the
wait. An organization about women.
Wow. Wow. How dare she?
Well, they said that people were pathetic fucks. That's really not exactly the cool thing to do. But I'm just like, I'm tired of hearing you can't have women's organizations. Like, hell, you can't. Fuck off.
Never forget that J.K. Rowling has been transphobic. Oh, no, don't worry. We're not allowed to forget. Every time she's mentioned in an article, even if it literally has nothing to do with that, they're like,
never forget, the more you guys talk about this shit, the more people are going to probably go watch the show. I'm just pointing that out to you.
Yeah, the more she makes, actually. I think some people are quietly buying her stuff just to stick it to cancel culture.
I'm just saying, you guys keep going on about it, right or wrong. It's just going to make her bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's not going away. They're going to bet heavy on Harry Potter. They have a lot riding on it in the theme parks.
Speaking of what's not bigger, let's talk about Warner Brothers.
Yeah, let's talk about Warner Brothers, because despite them announcing this project that's 2 years away,
they don't even have anybody on it as a showrunner yet to even write it yet.
Yeah, it's not going so well for them. So this is their stock is plummeting after Q4 earnings report, It sank 9% as markets opened Friday morning following the company's Q4 earnings report that showed financial progress for the Max streaming service, but weakness in key areas, including advertising sales. Huh.
Because they're all like trying to push for for like ad spots and stuff now.
That's what they're all doing now. And it's like, look, I don't understand the logic that the studios have now. They're like, okay, let's not give people as much content. Let's charge more for the streaming services. Let's throw ads on it. And, also cancel physical media. Oh, and the movies we put in the theaters, make them as shitty as possible so people don't go see those either.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? Like Warner Brothers, at least they had a couple. Wasn't Wonka theirs? I think Wonka was, I feel like that was theirs, but that's not exactly like a slam dunk. It's like, oh, Wonka did better than Aquaman. I'm like, well, it didn't really take much. So Zaslav sought to reassure analysts during the call that the long-term outlook for the company remains strong.
Well, it's not doing too hot. I mean, I was trying to see, it's 861. What do they say it was at the end of the day? So it dropped even more.
Yeah, it was 875.
And I mean, that's considering like, just in 2022, the stock it was never like super high, but it was like almost $25 then. It's just been going down as it went.
They don't know what they're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing. Like, I think people just needed to just be happy where they were at and just produce content. And then everybody wanted to be Netflix. And now they're all blowing themselves up. Warner Brothers is blowing themselves up. Paramount has to merge with Peacock to be Mount Cock, the biggest streaming service, the biggest, thickest streaming service out there.
But it's not.
It's not.
It lies, just like, sorry.
In the end, they're all going to wind up back on Netflix. I guarantee it. Like half of these studios are going to wind up on Netflix. Watch them sell Harry Potter to Netflix or something. And then if it sucks, they can just be like, well, it's because it's a Netflix adaptation.
Well, if it's Netflix, though, they won't take it, or they'll be like, we're doing that J.K. Rowling. And then they won't be allowed to
Would
get
they?
it, though.
They've got Dave Chappelle.
Oh,
They bet on Dave Chappelle. They got Ricky Gervais.
I know, but they're really over. Yeah, you're right. But over at Amazon, they're just been like,
Amazon.
Or not Amazon. I mean Netflix. They've been pretty. They've been doing a lot of things for years. That I was like, huh.
Yeah.
You did bring up a valid point.
Yeah, I think it depends on if they think there's money in it.
That's just it. They'll side with everything as long as there's money in it.
Because that shows you exactly where their moral compass is, right? It points to the bank, toward the bank.
If there's a paycheck in it, I'll believe anything.
Pretty much. I mean, Dave Chappelle, they're like, I guarantee you, if Dave Chappelle wasn't bringing it, he wasn't bringing the numbers, they would have gotten rid of him.
You're right. I agree with you.
Absolutely. But he was the biggest thing on there,
Good point.
So this is Zaslav. We worked really hard to get ourselves a healthy balance sheet.
Did you take a pay cut?
I know, right? Take a pay cut. Like, why don't these CEOs and CFOs and these executives, why don't they take a pay cut? They're like, sucks. We had to lay people off.
But he was making a ridiculous amount compared to other people.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like, no, I think your income should depend on whether or not your company's healthy, whether or not you're bringing it. Like, they get a bonus, but I'm like, no. I think you should get like a base salary of like maybe a couple $100,000 a year. And then if you want to make millions a year, this company has to make billions a year for you to make millions. That's how it works. It's like sales. It's like being a waiter, right? You get your pathetic base pay, which is like $2 or $3 an hour here in Pennsylvania. It's ridiculous. And then you have to make it up in tips. So
it isn't right.
Make it up in tips. Make it up in tips, David. We worked really hard to get ourselves...
What is the thickest?
The thickest tip. We worked really hard to get ourselves a healthy balance sheet, to pay down debt, to get below 4 times leverage, to really focus on where we're at, where we're spending money, and on driving free cash flow. This is why I think you look at the casting for Superman. I guess we could talk about this like briefly, but apparently they canceled Superman and Lois. Mm-hmm. Or Lois and Superman, whichever way it is, because of the new Superman movie coming out. And they didn't want to have too many Supermans. They did this with Smallville too. Yeah, they're like, why can't you just make a Smallville movie with Tom Welling as Superman? No. We have to do Superman Returns with Brandon Routh, which I did like him as Superman. He was okay. But then we're going to make that a sequel to Superman 2 and pretend 3 and 4 didn't exist. Like,
well, to be fair...
Nobody wants to admit.
Step over those anyway.
Nobody wants to admit that 3 and 4 existed, but it's just it's weird. Like, You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been so much easier for them to just be like, yeah, Smallville's really popular and Tom Welling looks the part. Let's save the suit for the movie. And no, they didn't want to do that. And it failed at the box office. Anyway, yeah, they're making the announcement about Harry Potter because they're like, but wait, guys, there's more. We have a plan. Honest, if you can wait another 2 years.
Yeah, but it didn't keep the stock up.
No. They're like, well, what are you going to do in the meantime? You know, that because they really don't have much coming up. I don't think they do. And they keep canceling stuff and they keep shutting down divisions. And like, I don't know, guys, but hold on. In 2 years, Harry Potter is going to save everything. Harry Potter is going to save Warner Brothers. That's what they think. Are we going to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.